Yeah, it's all bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so
hi.
As we're recording for like almost 3 minutes now, it's fine.
Yes.
Okay, so you know what? I had it all set and I was gonna be like, boo, it's a surprise, but you're talking, and everyone knows that it's a different person, so
yes, hello.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Paige, not Kayla. Because it's like, surprise, like we couldn't just like, do this to you secretly. It just had to be like, hey, there's just another person here now.
Just remove the curtain.
Hello. I am here, and welcome. I'm the most awkward human. Kayla is alive, she's fine, but she's just gonna take a step back for a second and kind of like focus on other things. So
her return is TBD.
Yeah, she'll come back when she's ready, but I was on the 80s horror movie episode a couple weeks ago,
what was it? What was it even fucking called?
It was remakes versus originals.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Yep. I am all here today.
Clearly. But yes, that is me. I am that person, and hello, I'm really glad to be here.
Yay, special surprise. So, okay. So, welcome, Paige. Yay,
Thank you.
You're a full-time host now.
Woo.
And that is exciting.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
That podcast life. It's pretty awesome, though.
Oh, man. It's something.
Mm.
It's something you gotta get used to.
It's such an interesting kind of thing because podcasting is relatively new. Of course, there were radio shows back in the day, and that's pretty much what it is, but internet. But it's kind of like a new frontier, I feel.
Well, it's weird because I listened to a podcast called Shockwaves, and they do nothing but they're a Blumhouse company run podcast, and they used to be called something else. I think it was called Killer POV. And they said it had been like 5 years. Like they've been going for 5 years.
Oh, mother.
I was like, holy fuck. Yeah.
I mean, pioneers. I'm like, oh shit. It's basically like that thing is where you're really new at something. You have to be doing that thing for a couple of years before people actually notice you. And they're like, oh wow, this up and coming new thing. And it's like, bitch, I've been working for a while. and you, yeah, but I see
your mouth.
Shout out to them. Are they still doing it?
Yeah, they're doing it's called Shockwaves now. And they release every Friday. I mean, plug for them. You're welcome, you guys.
Yeah. Hi. I'm gonna listen to you now.
It's really fun. They're all in the field. They're all in the movie field. So like there's a co-host on there. His name is Ryan Turek. And he is like a producer. He just recently got back from finishing up Halloween over in awesome. Like North Carolina.
North Carolina, nice.
Yeah. So moving on. Let's talk about our own podcast now.
Yes. What are we talking about today? Oh yes, our favorites.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Our favorites of 2018.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just realized we never actually introduced that.
Yes. Our favorites of 2018 and some random stories for you. Not random, but just chosen stories.
Yeah, it's our favorites of 2018 so far. And because, like I said, in the last episode I said it in, but we're just going to do like a giant, like, every movie we loved in 2018 at the end of 2018.
A recap.
Yeah, pretty much. I really wish that I had thought about this earlier because it would have been really cool to be like, all right, it's only March. Let's talk about the movies we liked in 2017, or whatever.
Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020. Right. So I actually have an announcement to make besides Paige.
Besides me? I mean, go ahead.
We have our first on-air Patreon shout out to do, and it is Reno. So thank you, Reno, for being our first on-air shout-out tiered Patreon.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
And then on the sad part, we got our first bad review, but, tally-ho.
It wasn't really bad. It was really constructive, actually. And
It really was.
and thank you. But I'm sure it was initially kind of like, oh,
I mean,
oh.
it felt like someone stabbed me in the heart. I started crying
Aw.
immediately. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get drunk for a second.
Oh my.
And then move on.
No, but it was constructive, and definitely. It's there's always room to improve.
Yeah, and actually, I guess spoiler alert, maybe just to you, maybe I'll edit this out, who knows. I want to actually redo the episode that we got the bad review on, because like...
Or we can do like an Exorcist part 2, or I don't know, something.
I was thinking about doing like all the old episodes that I really absolutely hated and calling them like redo with the X, like a douche.
Like a douche.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on. We're good now. We're moving on. We're going forward. We are
Okay, Kayla.
loving life.
Loving life. What do you have to talk about first? Are you doing your news?
Well, okay, you're the official person. Why don't you go first?
All right. Well, just so I know, what are you going to talk about for your news thing?
Oh, I'm still going to talk about it. I'm just letting you go first.
I know, but what's yours?
Why there are less serial killers in the world today than there were 40 years ago.
Forensics?
Kind of.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. All right. Sorry, my heart's beating a little fast.
Like, oh my god, are you okay?
No, I gotta talk. Well, just because I have to recite history information. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Which is
blanket warning to everybody who is listening. Don't get on our shit about wrong facts. We're not qualified.
I'm really trying my best, though. Like, I'm trying to... I'm double checking my facts and, like, so just be gentle, but it's pretty well... Like, I put some time into it,
Good.
So, I tried. But this is about the Knights Templar. They were so imagine medieval France. So we're talking like 1300s era.
Transported.
Yep. Okay, suddenly you're like a king or a peasant or a knight.
Covered in shit. That's just how I imagine that time.
It was probably really dirty, to be honest. But the Knights Templar were a group of knights and basically militia. They were a Catholic military order. They were founded in 1139, and it's really hard for me to even imagine that year.
Yeah.
1139. And they reigned in, well, they were words. They were a military until 1312. So on the night of October 13th, 1307, Philip IV started to pitch a fucking hissy fit because because the Knights Templar were they had a lot of money. They had money, and they actually there was this guy, this homie. His name was Jacques de Molay, and he was their Grand Master. So he was the leader of all of them, and it was said to he and his knights, probably about like 100 or so.
Are knights. They okay? Is this a cult or is it like run by the government? Because I'm going to be honest, the only thing that I know about the Knights Templar is what I know from what's that movie? The one with oh holy shit!
There's a movie about it.
Oh my god, I don't even remember the actor's name. What's the guy? He plays Woody in Toy Story.
Plays Woody in Toy Story? I don't know.
Tom Hanks. Okay, hang on. Let me see what movie Tom Hanks has been in.
Oh, Tom Hanks was in a Knights Templar movie?
Yeah, it was the one about Jesus. And, like, she was Jesus's daughter.
I did not see that one.
Something. It was based on a book. Robert Langdon... It's gonna bug me. Da Vinci Code. The Da Vinci Code.
Oh, the Da Vinci Code. Oh, damn.
Yeah, they went all over, like, the world trying to solve this, like, Knights Templar shit, because in the movie, the fiction around the Knights Templar was that they were trying to guard the Rose, which was Jesus's granddaughter or some shit. I don't remember.
I haven't seen the Da Vinci Code in so long, but I feel like I really should, because I'd probably enjoy it. But I think
really good. It's super religious-y and preachy, but it's really good.
Well, I mean, they were a Catholic military, and this was just one of the many evils the Catholic Church committed. No offense if you're Catholic, but, like, you know, y'all were pretty mean.
Yeah. Hey, my mother-in-law is Catholic, and I can attest to that.
Man, I'm not trying to talk shit, but I mean, 1300s Catholic in France. I mean, that was pretty hardcore as well. But okay, so the King of France, Philip IV, thought he could borrow, you know, all of this money from the Knights Templar without paying it back, and they were like, nah, brah, like, you may be the king, but you still have to, you can't just, like, keep taking our money. And it was said that the Knights Templar spent a lot of time in the Middle East, and said to have found King Solomon's treasure and shit. So basically, they had been around in the Middle East. It said that they learned about the occult and learned secrets and stuff. So Philip IV was like, you guys are committing heresy. You guys are worshiping the devil. And and so he sent all of his soldiers to go through the night, pounding on the Knight Templars' doors. So this was an order of 2,000 people.
Holy fuck.
So it wasn't like, you know, just a couple houses or whatever. Like, these guys were just, like, ransacking them, taking them in, holding them in custody. And they were trying to get them to confess to these accusations of worshiping the devil and idols like Baphomet. We all know Baphomet. Hey, Baffy. You know.
I don't know that one.
So, like, goat's head, human body. You've seen pictures. You've
probably, occulty shit.
Baphomet, who was said to make plants grow.
Ooh.
So, yeah. But so Jacques de Millet and all of his freaking knights and militia, all of them, were tortured. And, you know, if you know anything about medieval torture, they get real
there was nothing
creative.
PC about that shit.
No. They got real creative. So the ones that confessed were able to kind of, like, leave quietly and join other monasteries and stuff throughout the country. But the ones that refused to confess got burned at the stake. Including Jacques and his assistant. And Jacques' last words were basically cursing all that had to do with his death. So that included the Pope at the time, because King Philip was like, hey, Pope Clement, like, I don't want to pay these guys back. You know, I'm going to arrest them. Do I have your support? And Pope Clement backed him, so he had something to do with it. So he cursed the Pope and King Philip and all of his descendants upon his death, and was like, God will avenge us because you guys are freaking ass wipes, to say the least. And so the cool part about all of this is they did all die within a reasonable amount of time after Jacques was burned at the stake. Pope Clement died first, and then King Philip was killed in a hunting accident.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like a year later. And then between the years 1314 and 1328, all of the descendants of King Philip had died. So all of the sons and grandsons all died within that time period. Yeah, and then his family didn't reign in France anymore, and they had been the royal family for over 300 years. So...
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it was rumored... well, not rumored, but people speculate... So, did his curse actually come true? Did they all die because of, like, what Jacques said? Or do you think the remaining Knights of the Templar kind of, like, carried out his wishes over time? So, I think it might be a little bit of both, but mostly his curse, because that's really powerful. And he didn't show basically any pain when he was being burned at the stake. He remained super composed and was
Those
just like,
people freak me
you.
out.
Well, because he had been tortured for years about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then finally they're like, okay, like, let's kill him in the slowest possible way. And because they prolonged his burning. The other guys that they burned, it was kind of like, okay, light him on fire, get it over with. But with Jacques, it was like, you know, let's burn him slower, because, you know, he was the leader, and he won't admit to worshipping the devil.
Oh my god.
Like a little bitch. So basically, if we can take away any of this, it's King Philip was an asswipe. And
well, yeah.
and yeah. But today, so kind of like the Freemasons and whatnot, so a lot of groups similar to that, they took on characteristics of the Knights Templar. So kind of, I don't want to say secret society, because that's pretty controversial, but, you know, stuff like that. So there's an Order of Demolay that takes place today, and it's basically an organization that's trying to build young men of character.
Uh-oh.
If you will. So ages 14 to 21, and it's kind of like, from what I know about it, it's kind of like the Boy Scouts.
Yep.
It's a group, they do things, they try to, you know, make you into a well-rounded young man and whatnot. And then at the age of 21, you're eligible to be a member of the Masonic Order.
Huh.
So yeah, so the Knights Templar still has roots today. But yeah, that's my thing.
That's your thing? People burning at the stake and cursing people and stuff?
Well, yeah, and just people being like, you know, I want your money, and if you won't give it to me, I'm gonna say you believe in the devil and have you killed. Like, people have always been barbaric, and it's just kind of, it's interesting to hear what humans did that long ago without, you know, the threat of police and whatnot. I don't know. History is interesting to me now. When I was in high school, I could give two fucks.
Yeah.
Like, I could give two fucks in high school. But then, like, the second I graduated, I was looking up World War II for fun and just learning about it. But in high school, I was like, who fucking cares? And, like, it's complicated and blah, blah, blah. But, I don't know. History is cool, bitch.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't you agree, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, though, I couldn't get into history as much. Like, I'm having a hard enough time with my present. I don't need to learn about those fuckers.
Well, but you still find it interesting when you do, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But, like, I don't go out of my way to do so.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for you.
Yes, that's your job now.
The resident historian. Old okay. Movies, old facts. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I love that. I love that is that the word dichotomy?
Yeah, one of my best friends, Grant, he was like, Paige, you just like old creepy shit. And that's what makes you you. And he said that one day just out of the blue. And I'm like, thanks, Grant.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not.
Yeah. Holy fuck. It's so cool, though. Like, I remember when we were in high school, you were the one who basically gave me a whole weird history lesson on things. Like, you taught me about past lives and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, I don't know. And I was like, cool, I'm there.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have so much more to talk about. Let's do mine really quick. So this article is just, it's not very long, but I'm not going to read it all word for word. But basically what the article was is I went down this like rabbit hole of serial killers the other day.
Oh God, that's fun.
And so I saw that, I was like, all right, there's so many serial killers back in this time. And obviously we all know that like serial killers have declined, but specifically, so in the 1970s, there were more than 500 serial murders in the United States. In the 80s, it peaked with just over 600 serial murders. But then in the 2000s... The
80s were a good time. Sorry.
Yeah, right. What? Cocaine and serial killers.
What? Yeah. And fucking glam rock.
Right? But then in the 2000s, we only saw 318. And then
How many?
as of now, 318.
Oh, okay. So cut in half?
2010s, we've only seen 73.
Oh, wow.
So it's dramatic in the last 20, 30 years. It's crazy. So
Oh, sorry. And so a serial killer is just somebody who kills in at different times, different people.
Yeah.
More than 2 or more than 1. I don't know.
Let's see if it says... It doesn't actually just give like a definition of what they consider a serial killer. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. But then... this guy who wrote this book... it's so specific. This guy who wrote this book...
This guy who wrote this book...
The book is called Extreme Killing, Understanding Serial and Mass Murder. He estimates that there were about 200 killers operating in the 80s compared to the 61 in the 2000s. And he has absolutely no concrete proof. There are multiple factors that he saw. So basically, one of the main reasons that they only really go into is that DNA testing, similar to how they just caught the Golden State Killer, they're like...
Yeah, for sure. Like forensics.
Yeah, as soon as DNA testing became a thing, like they saw a dramatic decline in killers, which scares the fuck out of me, by the way. Because that means that there are still these people who could be serial killers that are just like bottling up all their anger and tension.
Well... Hopefully they don't kill again, but...
Yeah. And then, okay, so the other one, it says... What was it? But perhaps one of the most predominant reasons is that serial killing doesn't provide the same level of celebrity that it used to. In 1974, for example, the country was terrorized by Ted Bundy, the BTK killer, John Wayne Gacy, and the Zodiac killer.
It was a good year.
Right. Good old 70s. These men and their crimes were written about in headlines, blasted all over the TV, discussed in public. The media sensation and the nation's fascination with them offered sociopaths and psychopaths a chance at fame, even fleeting. And then, so in 2015, different men dominate our headlines, such as like shooters, like mass shooters. Mm-hmm. And it says perhaps the decrease in serial killings in the 2000s isn't because people stopped wanting to kill. Maybe it's because people started killing in a different way. So, like...
I think, yeah, probably school shooters are the new serial killers, which is fucked.
Yeah, it's fucked up because they can definitely kill more so than they would have being a serial killer, because serial killers on average killed 3 to 10 people. Uh-huh. And... that's not that many. I mean, obviously that's terrible, but it's not as many as you could.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of it says, killers regrettably aren't going away anytime soon, but the notion of the serial killer, the masked menace who stalks at night and leaves a riddling trademark after a kill, is beginning to fade to make room for a different kind of threat. The days of the serial killer are over and the age of mass murderer is here. What's worse? What's really worse?
So you're not as likely to get murdered in your bed at night, but you're more likely to get murdered just when you're out in public enjoying things.
Making anxiety extra special.
Oh, God. Right. It's quality, not quantity, yo. Oh, God, that's really bad. It's really bad. But for real.
Oh, my God. It's great. Oh. I mean, it's not great. It's terrible, but
Nasty. Yeah.
Okay, so...
Oh, yes. Oh, and when do I talk about the Manson music?
Right now.
Oh, okay. Didn't know when I was supposed to. Another thing... Oh, if you were done with your serial killer thing.
I am.
Sorry, just got excited, but yeah, that's fucking forensics, dude. But another thing that I found out, or recently discovered, thanks to Kayla and listening to their cult episode of the show. So I always knew Charles Manson was a musician, and I heard some of his solo stuff. And I thought it was really good. You know, I dug it, you know, and there was always that kind of thing about, oh, well, you know, it's Charles Manson and stuff. And I was like, well, yeah, but he's still talented. But I hadn't heard any of the Manson family stuff until you mentioned it. And it makes total sense because, like, you're living in the desert in a commune, like, in the 60s. You're going to do a lot of music and other crafts or
lots
orgies or whatever. And lots of drugs, orgies, music. Like, it's a great time, you know? Occasional murders.
That only happened at the last, like, 6 to 10 months. It's fine.
Exactly. But yeah, so if you all look up the Manson Family Jams on YouTube, if you dare, because it is amazing. I really loved it. And then when I told Kayla that, she's like, "What have I done?"
Oh my god. I totally said that.
And no, but he's such a good songwriter, seriously, and his solo stuff was good, but what he could do with a band was absolutely phenomenal, like, in my opinion. So my favorite song right now is called, Is There No One in Your World But You? No, I'm seriously going to link it down below.
We'll link it in Twitter and on Facebook.
Okay. But, the use of the vocal harmonies is fucking gorgeous.
The
lyrics were
you said
beautiful.
that he does solo stuff. And
What?
I've never heard his solo stuff.
Oh. You hadn't?
No, I only heard the Manson Family Jams, and from what I could tell, that was not him. It was just the family. Unless I'm mistaken, and that was him in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think some songs he was in, some not, but it was still, you know, kind of his thing, and I think he wrote a lot of the songs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So either way, it was freaking impressive, and I like his music otherwise. But honestly, I think Charles Manson's real gift to the world was his music, and it was such a goddamn shame that he couldn't share it beyond that. Like, you just had to go and kill those people.
Yeah.
You know? Like, had to prove a point.
Tantrum.
Had to prove a point, and obviously he was a really charismatic guy. He had a freaking following and shit, and I don't know, his music was just really great, but maybe it was just one of those things, kind of like Nirvana, where you can only have so much of a good thing. I don't know. I love Nirvana, y'all. But yeah, I love the Manson Family Jams. It's a great album. Look it up on YouTube.
Okay. So we promise Paige isn't a serial killer. We promise.
Hey, like, no, I mean, obviously, they have my DNA. I've given my fingerprint before. Not in any, bad way. But...
Okay. What I just heard was they have my DNA, meaning that you were, like, related to the Mansons, and I'm like...
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, not to my knowledge.
But you did the DNA online thing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. I haven't done that. I really want to do it. I think we discussed this before.
Fun. It's really fun. I found out that I'm freaking 50% German. I'm like, why am I so white? But that's pretty cool. 50%. That's, you know, fucking...
Yeah. I really want to do that. Because my stepdad, he did the same thing, and he thought that he was German his whole life, and then he took this test, and he is, like, 100%, like, Scottish, Irish, English. It's like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, there are some truths that come out sometimes.
Yeah. Ugh, that's crazy. Oh, my God. So...
Not sponsored by Ancestry.com.
Not...
But...
Hashtag ad.
Oh
my god. So I did a lot of stuff this last week.
Yay. Productivity.
So speaking of music, actually, I sent you this, I think. The Marilyn Manson Cry Little Sister cover. Because holy fuck, I loved it so much. I think I listened to it on repeat for like 24 hours. I shit you not. Thou shalt not kill.
Yeah. It's really good.
But that was my music. And then, okay, so I don't judge me. I have a soft spot for anything having to do with, like, Lifetime movies and like, TV shows that are not, like, the normal... I don't even know why I like Lifetime shit. I'm admitting it right here.
No, some of them are really good, so...
So I love the TV show that they did called Witches of East End, and It's basically about this family of witches who you find out that the mother has lived a long fucking time, and then the daughters don't know that they're witches in this lifetime, and that they keep being reborn after they die. And then the aunt who comes to stay with them, has like this curse of being a cat, so she has 9 lives, and she has like this really pretty necklace that she wears the whole thing,
or a collar,
the whole time.
The cat wears a necklace.
Yeah.
Nice.
So okay, and then like the girls find out that they're witches, and all this shit goes down. So I want to actually read my notes because I'm pretty fucking clever, I think.
I think. Humble brag.
All right, so it is definitely a Lifetime show. There is lots of sex and romance in the first few episodes when they're like establishing the characters and stuff. Because naturally, one of the sisters has like, I'll tell you that in a second. But like everything calms the fuck down eventually, and there's like dead bodies, there's curses and murder and amazing fucking boho style everywhere.
Sex, murder, fashion. Witches of East End.
And then, okay, so one of the daughter's storylines is she like remembers her past love, and he keeps being reborn, and like his soul keeps moving on every time he's reborn. And so she's drawn to him because you find out they're like star-crossed lovers, so every time they get together they end up dying.
Hell yeah. But that's what really happens, yeah. Well, what I believe. But anyway, go on.
So then she has to keep choosing between the 2 brothers because both of their spirits she's always fighting over them. And like I said in my notes, I said she's constantly battling her desires to choose between the 2 brothers. And then like the one who she's really drawn to is like black hair, has a leather jacket, super smoldery and sexy.
Hell yeah. My goth girlfriend.
And then the other one is like a doctor with a charming smile and blonde hair. It's like, oh also my god, it's so cute, fucking cliche. Yeah. And then, so when they go to the second season, there's a lot more murder. There's actually like time travel and dealing a lot more with their past lives. And you actually get to meet like Edgar Allan Poe and tentacle demon sex.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I have to watch it now.
It's really
tentacle
good.
Demon sex.
So actually,
Witches of East End.
There was a huge uproar when it got canceled because like it's actually really interesting because the mythology behind the store what the fuck, behind the show, there you go, is that they're Asgardian witches, so like Norse mythology and stuff like that. And in the books you actually find out that the 2 brothers are Loki and Balder, and in the show they just kind of like, they're like, oh, you're warlocks, and it's like whatever. But then yeah, they ended the show on so many fucking cliffhangers.
No.
It like literally nothing got finished or concluded or anything. I was so mad.
Make a movie.
They didn't even know that they were going to be canceled. They had no idea. It was such a popular show. Whatever. I'm still bitter. Moving on.
Aw. Witches of East End. It's great, but there's no ending.
It's on it's on Lifetime. Of course it's on Lifetime, but it's on Hulu. So go watch that.
And with that, our favorite feature films of 2018?
Yes. So far. Shudder is a premium streaming service devoted exclusively to horror and thrillers. They have so many thousands of hours of content, including Shudder originals, so you'll never be bored. They also have really awesome curated collections, so if you like demons or witches or ghosts, there's a collection for you. My personal favorites are Comedy of Terrors and Haunted Habitations. Go check it out, and if you use the promo code RAINBOW, you'll get 30 days free. So go to Shudder.com and use the promo code RAINBOW for a 30-day free trial.
So I chose mine first and foremost because I'm like, I'm gonna do this one. Yeah. And then Kayla's like talking about this other movie, and I watched that, and I was like, fuck, that should have been mine. I loved it so much.
We can switch.
No, it's okay. No, it's totally fine. But
you'll just talk about my pick, and I'll talk about yours.
It's fine.
Well, okay, first we gotta talk about the one that we both agree on.
Oh, okay.
And that's Hereditary.
Hereditary.
And fucking Worship at the Feet of Toni Collette.
They were good. They were very good in it.
My fucking cat, she is like rolling all over the place. I'm sorry if you can hear that.
Oh, I can't.
Meow. But yeah, fucking Hereditary. Me and Michaela talked about that a few episodes ago, but you saw it with us.
I did.
But we didn't get your opinion of it, so why don't you tell us what you thought, because I love it so much.
About Hereditary.
Yeah.
So I definitely liked it, but I don't think that I'm as crazy about it as you, though. Or Michaela, maybe. I don't know.
I think I was the only one who was absolutely head over heels about it, honestly. Even Michaela was like, meh.
I think it was like you, Michaela, then me. It was probably like a good solid 7 out of 10 for me, honestly. I did enjoy it. I definitely had a good time watching it. I don't know, but it didn't really scare me. It didn't really like show me anything that I didn't know. And just like the interview with Mike Pecci, right? Pecci? Mm-hmm. Yes, Mike, hey.
Yeah.
He said that the third act kind of fell flat, and I think that's what it was for me.
Well, yeah, I agree.
I think that's what it was.
I agree on that entirely.
Yeah, because it had some good drama and suspense leading up to the climax, but then after that just kind of got a little bit cliche for me, and I'm just like, okay, like kind of getting Rosemary's Baby's vibes, but okay, also kind of like, what's going on, or is that dog dead? Sorry, spoiler! But come on, like, dogs die in pretty much every movie. It sucks.
Horror movie.
It sucks, but it adds to the extra, like, oh, like, you know, it gets in your feels. That's what horror films do. They get in your fucking feels. And, yeah. I mean, dead dogs are a part of that. Sorry. But, yeah, I liked it, but it wasn't, I feel like it was a pretty hyped up movie, and it was a solid, like, good for me, but I didn't love it.
No, okay, very similar to when you were on the show originally, when we talked about Evil Dead, and how originally when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is this garbage?
Yeah, which I'm just hey.
I eventually was like, okay, I see it. I love it. It's part of history. It's a classic. It's corny as fuck, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I am doing it the opposite. I loved it at the beginning. I couldn't stop talking about it, especially those couple of like really big get under your skin scenes. Mm-hmm. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, was it just the hype of it being such a fucked up film? Because it was really fucked up.
And the trailers were really good. The trailers were really well done, and it did...
Well, that was what Mike was saying, too, is that
oh, really?
A24 does really good trailers.
Oh, yeah, no, it totally made it look really terrifying, which it was scary, and I did talk to a girl who was like, yeah, that movie fucked me up, like, I couldn't sleep, blah, 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 and I'm just like, oh... I thought it...
I still have to check the corners of my room. Excuse me.
Well, I don't know. I've seen that kind of, like, shadowy ceiling demon many times before.
But they did it differently, I feel. Like, I feel like they made the whole situation much more unusual.
That's true, because like, it was the mom.
Weren't really... Huh?
Because I was going to say it was the mom in the corners, not just, like, a demon.
Oh, yeah,
It was just like...
So, yeah, they... Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you having a stroke?
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, no! Okay, so maybe it was, like, too, like, of me to say that we all loved Hereditary. I mean, good job being selfish.
Oh,
Kayla.
no, it's okay. I did really like it, but it wasn't, like, my favorite, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was it was one of my top ones at least, and that's like I'll talk about my other top ones later, but yeah.
I'm glad that it exists. Basically everything that Mike said were my opinions as well. I'm just like, whoa. I'm glad that it exists. It's really cool to see original horror films come out, and I liked it for what it was, and I think that there were some just really intense scenes in it, and the acting was really good, I think. So yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat was like rolling all over my cords.
Oh, so that's what cats do.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I think that I think I liked its originality mostly.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so high in my book that it's good.
Yeah, that's true. But I did get serious Rosemary's Baby vibes from it. Totally. Yeah. Which is cool, but like, I don't know. Yeah. It just didn't blow my mind, but I liked it. I definitely would recommend it if you like horror movies and shit like that. I don't know. Like, I've talked to people that it's absolutely scared the shit out of, so to each its own, but...
okay, well, so maybe that shouldn't have been on there, but fine.
No, it's totally okay. Like, it's definitely worth talking about, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even though it wasn't my favorite, it definitely is worth mentioning. No, so
definitely.
Yeah. But what's your favorite one? Which is also my favorite one too. But I didn't watch it in time. I was already like, A Quiet Place. And then
you're just like, this is mine. And so then I'm talking about Paige's film, Pyewacket.
Oh, pretty much. It was so good.
So the general description of the movie and then the critic consensus from Rotten Tomatoes is: when you're dealing with demons, be careful what you wish for. In this unsettling occult nightmare, teenage Leah finds solace from the recent death of her father and from her strained relationship with her mother by dabbling in the dark arts. It all seems like harmless fun at first, until a blowout argument leads Leah to do the unthinkable, put a death curse on her mother. No sooner has the girl performed the ritual that she regrets it. But maybe but it may be too late, as an evil presence known as Pyewacket begins to make itself known and threatens to destroy both mother and daughter. Backcountry director Adam McDonald builds hair-raising tension around what's both a complex mother-daughter tale and a frightening fable about our darkest desires. And then the critic consensus is Pyewacket builds its atmospheric, patiently encroaching chills on a well-told story concerning more with emotional trauma than supernatural threats.
Oh my god. I feel related, connected to this movie on a spiritual level.
Okay, tell me why, because I didn't expect you to love it that much. Really? I mean, I figured that you would, but not this much.
But not this much. Because it did exactly that. It captured the tension between a mother and a daughter. So I don't know. I just feel like I really related to it a lot because I wouldn't put a death curse on my mother, but our relationship was really similar to that when I was growing up, and the way that Leah dressed and whatnot, like she had a pentagram ring and her mom was like, "What, are you trying to be a Manson chick?" And she had like dark posters all over her room and liked metal and whatnot. And I was like, that was totally fucking me. And I don't know, just living in the woods like they did, it just kind of resonated with me. And I don't know if this is bad to say, but it's legal in the state where I'm from and I'm old enough, but I was under the influence of marijuana when I watched this movie, and I don't know if I should have been, because I just felt those feelings so much deeper in my soul. Yeah. Like it just did such a great job of capturing how frustrating it is to be a teenager and to have something like really traumatic happen to you, and you don't really know how to express it or how to cope with it. And I don't know, I was like, she is me. But then she cast a really complicated ritual on her mom, and I was like, I don't know if I would go that far.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I felt that a lot. So like so this isn't really spoiler since it was in the description, but like when she performs the ritual, and she immediately regrets it. I felt that. Like, her mom was like, okay, so when they move out to the woods, everything's terrible. And then, you know, everyone needs a change of scenery once in their life to, like, get everything better. And that's what this was. So after she did the curse, everything kind of, like, settled down, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
like,
she
was
saw
like, oh, my mom,
her mother...
Yeah, my mom's not that bad, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now she's like, oh, fuck, I'm, like, seeing fucking things now. So this is great. Kill me now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My neighbors are yelling out the window like it's summertime or something. If you can hear that.
Fucking summer.
But yeah, it was just such a great movie, and the cinematography was
beautiful.
Was lovely, and the actresses were really good. I love the mom. I was like, oh my god, that's Lori from The Walking Dead, and and I really liked her, and she killed it, and so did the younger girl too. It's just so good.
Yeah, she did a really good job at, like, she actually didn't do very much. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I watched it so recently, the daughter, she didn't have very many, like, speaking parts, so to speak, like, that I can think of. It was mostly just her reactions to her mother and her reactions to being, like, just a teenager.
Yeah.
It totally works.
A teenager with a dead dad. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It feeds off the teen angst, and that's the kind of stuff that makes the end of the movie so much
Oh my god,
worse.
The end of the movie, y'all, like, we're not gonna say that. Oh my god, that still has me fucked up. Like, that's the shit that gives me nightmares.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. And you guys, like, I don't even smoke, but I wanted a cigarette after that. Like, really badly.
It was hard.
Where can I get a smoke, y'all? Like, I'm fucked up right now.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that I think I know what scene you're talking about. We haven't talked about it outside of the podcast.
Just the very end.
The very end.
What she...
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll talk about it. But
alright, well, I think you know what I mean. But yeah.
Probably.
Uh-huh.
But it's so fucking good. It literally, like you said, I related to it on a deeper level, because you and I were very, like, fuck you parents kind of mental.
Well, yeah, because, like, I was entrapped. And that's what I feel like when I was a teenager. I just felt, like, so trapped, you know?
Yeah.
Because you feel like you want to make your own decisions, but legally you're not old enough, and your parents they still have control over you in a way, and it's just so frustrating, and, like, hormones and blah, sex, meh. Like, it's just a very hard time in someone's life.
Exactly.
I feel.
Like, I wrote in my notes, I said it throws me back to my teen days when all I wanted to do was GTFO and murder people.
Oh my. I know, and then I started doing yoga and meditating and shit, and now I'm just like, kumbaya, my lord.
Now you're that really good in-between. You're not so much devil worshiper, and you're not so much, like, a total hippie. You're more like a Manson person.
You want to be a Manson chick or something? No, literally, somebody was like, you're a hippie goth, and I was like, that's the worst slash best thing I've ever heard, so thank you. Yep.
Oh my god. But that was a good movie. I really fucking enjoyed it. And, like, literally when we were talking about doing this episode, I was like, oh my god, Paige, you need to watch this.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then I watched it, and I needed to actually go, because I dog sit or whatever. I needed to actually go check on a dog when I was watching this movie. It wasn't pressing, you guys. I wasn't, like, neglecting the dog or anything. But I was like, okay, I'll watch, like, half of it and then pause it and come back. But this movie was so good, I could not stop watching it. And I was like, oh, nope, not gonna happen. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait, like, 20 extra minutes. It was so good. I can't say that enough. Like, go watch Pyewacket. I don't know if it's out on video yet, but...
It is. I found it when it came onto VOD, so it's available now.
Cool. Available now. Pyewacket.
Available now on VOD.
Like, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10, actually. Would recommend.
Yeah, when I first watched it, I didn't actually think it was that scary. And then you started freaking out about it.
I was like, oh my god. I'm fucking terrified.
I have to go watch this again. So I did, and there were a couple things that I will talk to you about later that I did not notice the first time, and I actually got scared. I was
Holy
like,
fuck, it's so scary.
It was terrifying, and you really have to pay attention. So I will say that, like, if you don't like really paying attention,
I'm excited
to movies,
to see what you say, because I think I know what you mean. But yeah,
yeah. But if you really need to if you don't like really paying attention to movies, then this probably isn't for you.
Yeah, I was paying attention for sure. Like I couldn't take my eyes off it. I'm just
yeah,
in just emotional pain. Like I was hurting that whole time, but in a good way.
Oh my god, yeah, it's really good. So Pyewacket, VOD, go watch it ASAP.
So great.
Now Paige is going to talk about my movie, The Quiet Place.
Canadian films. I'm still talking about Pyewacket. Yeah, so Kayla's film, A Quiet Place. I'm sorry. Not to overshadow it. It was really good. So I was very intrigued about the concept of a movie that was mostly silent, or that played off of other sounds, just sounds around the world, because a lot of films are really focused on narratives and what people say. Yeah. So I was very intrigued of the idea of a horror film that was quiet, like that one movie. I think it was called Hush or something.
The one with the deaf writer, the deaf and mute writer,
the deaf girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's my favorite. Like, honestly, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, just stuff like that where the characters can't hear, and then they had the deaf girl in A Quiet Place too, and I was like, oh, I see what you did there. So, yeah, a couple things about this movie. I did really enjoy it, but I had a lot of questions. Do you know if they're going to do a second movie?
They are. They actually, I just retweeted something about it today.
Okay.
When we're recording this, that it's, he confirmed a sequel.
Okay, cool, because I enjoyed it, but I have a lot of questions.
Oh, don't even. Okay, I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
When, just for a moment.
Just like I could go on.
I'll just shut up now. No, when we saw it in theaters, we saw it with our friends, and as soon as we stepped foot out of the theater, we sat around for probably 20 minutes just like tearing it apart.
Oh, really?
And yeah, because there's a lot of things that it's like, if you are actually into science and if you're actually into like what would actually happen in the apocalypse and you're knowledgeable about that kind of stuff, it can really take you out of the movie. If you watch it just for a creature feature film, then it's good. It's really fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I was watching it for creature feature for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like, so what are these creatures?
Yeah. Well, did you not hear all that? Like, everywhere after it came out in theaters, everyone was like, it is the Cloverfield sequel that we deserved but never got.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, because the creatures were so similar to the ones that were in that, and whatever.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, pretty much. No, yeah, I can see that. But, yeah. What were you saying again?
I wasn't saying anything. I was talking about the issues that we had with it.
Oh, the issues, yeah. You can keep going, or I can say my issues.
You can say your issues, and I'll go off of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if this is... Nah, they're not really spoilers. So the basic of the basis plot? Oh my god! Basic plot /
I believe in you.
I'm sorry. The point of the movie is, yeah, it's kind of post-apocalyptic. You don't really know what happened. There are these creatures that live in the forest and stuff, and you can't make any noises because they'll just come and fucking slash you right in half.
Yep.
So one, how long has this been happening? Because that is no place to raise children in, and that girl is pregnant and she has a toddler. Like,
okay, so we didn't, okay, oh my god, so
this is just the
beginning. We have so many more.
And you can't make a noise. Like, okay, yeah, anyway.
Okay, so that was the one thing. I watched it again, and I realized that it really made me stop caring about these people once I was like, holy fuck, how stupid could you be to get pregnant in a time like this?
Right, at least, yeah, come on. Come on. Pull out game weak. Pull out game so weak.
I think unless I'm mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I think it was only like a year. Or
okay, that makes more sense.
Maybe it was 3 years. I'm not sure, but it was a very short amount of time. And I'm like, all of the condoms would still be good. You can still fucking use a condom. Find them, use them, don't get pregnant.
Yeah, seriously, y'all. And then the toddler, I mean, that's another thing. But the pregnancy, it's like even if you do manage to have a totally silent labor, that baby's gonna fucking scream. You know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to do? That's just awful all the way around.
It's really terrible. But, okay, so keep going. Keep going with what you thought was actually, like, good about the movie.
Well, that was one thing. But I liked the way that they played with sounds. Yes. You would hear crickets, and then when the character would turn their head, it would go silent. You know, it was they played with that a lot. I think it would be a cool movie to watch with headphones, actually.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, just kind of really zone in on the experience, because sort of like the Paranormal Activity movies, it plays off a lot of like what's going to happen, and it plays a lot off of little details. So
yeah, I was reading something that
you get sucked in.
Yeah, so you're more anxious about in a movie with gunshots, you're more anxious about the anticipation of the gunshot than you are about the actual gunshot. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what this plays off of. You're tense about the silence and the noises than you are about the actual creatures.
Yeah, and luckily when the creatures come, it's just like real quick, like wham bam, like they don't suffer at all. So that's cool.
Yeah, but at least they're nice about it.
Yeah, they just get it over with, but you can't make any noise.
But so okay, I'm gonna tell you, did you cry at that scene that we're not gonna spoil?
Oh god. This is like playing a game of puzzles or charades. What scene?
The most emotional death.
Well, I can tell you, I didn't cry at all during that movie, but I cried during Pyewacket. I fucking cried during Pyewacket, no, I didn't cry, no.
So, I don't know if you listen to all of our old episodes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Okay. I've talked a lot, and I think I mentioned it in almost every episode, that I'm very much a musically oriented person when it comes to soundtracks and scores for movies. Mm-hmm. And that one hurt my heart. That soundtrack in general, like the piano themes that they do throughout that movie.
Oh, well, it has to be good. It's basically a silent film,
I know, and but the emotion that they were able to give off during that last big graphic scene, mm-hmm. That one, it broke my heart, because like the way that he was trying to express all this stuff that was bottled up in a very small amount of time, and you just had to be like, holy fuck, this is happening. This is actually happening. I'm watching this happen.
It's like your dad dies.
Yeah, exactly.
Dead dads are just a theme in these, these stories. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But the thing, okay, so the biggest complaint / mockery that my friends and my husband and I made were, why could these big ass monsters bust through a giant silo wall and they could not rip through the roof of a truck?
They just didn't feel like it.
I guess that makes the most sense, because holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know. There were some inconsistencies, but I'm really excited to see the second movie now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was a little bit late in the game for A Quiet Place. I didn't watch it until pretty recently, so
it was very similar to the Hereditary hype. It was one of those like, holy shit, John Krasinski.
A Quiet Place! Like, super cool name, you know, awesome ass poster, cool concept.
Monsters, you know, always a plus.
Yeah, I would probably give it an 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Wow.
How about you?
Same, probably. I mean, I'll go over my rundown of ratings in the Patreon episodes. So,
go to that, like, link in the description.
Fine. You're new around here. It's fine. You'll get the hang of it.
The new guy.
The new guy was fucking things up.
Yep. Oh that was all my story.
I'm sorry. Life. You're not fucking anything up.
Story of my life, but anyway. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, that's my movie of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, we did trade. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I just feel a lot better about it now. Yes, Pyewacket and A Quiet Place.
Oh my god. Okay, so another thing I actually wanted to say about Pyewacket is that, like, I don't know how to actually word this. I'm not a really big fan of, like, atmospheric music. Speaking of music, by the way. I'm not a huge fan of, like, atmospheric music where it's just a lot of just noise directed directly at you. Mm. And that was what it was. But they did it really well. And I think that was part of the tension for me that I absolutely enjoyed.
Yes. Oh, such a good movie. I can't. I've said that like 18 times. I'm like, it's. I'm sorry. I don't want to get like inappropriate.
You don't want to get inappropriate?
Oh, I was just like, Pyewacket. All right, well, weren't you gonna read the description of Pyewacket? The actual.
I already did.
The
Paige.
actual. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was. No, not the film description. The actual the thing, Pyewacket. Didn't you say you looked that up? Oh.
No.
Oh, I did a really quick search earlier, but Pyewacket was it was basically a part of a witch's spirit.
That's the Pyewacket is I think is a familiar spirit.
A familiar,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Of a witch. That's yeah. I kind of look. I thought you were gonna talk. I'm sorry. I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about it to talk about it. But Pyewacket is an actual thing. So I was like, is this just a made up word? But no, it's not.
Okay, so according to Wikipedia, Pyewacket is a familiar spirit of a witch detected by the Witchfinder General Matthew Hopkins in March of 1644 in the town of Manningtree, Essex, England. Hopkins claimed he spied on witches as they held their meetings close to his house and heard them mention the name of a local woman. She was arrested and deprived of sleep for 4 nights, at the end of which she confessed and called out the names of her familiars, describing the forms in which they should appear. They were Holt, who came in like a white kitling, Jarmara, who came in like a fat spaniel without any legs. Holy shit. Vinegar Tom, who is a long-legged greyhound with a head like an ox.
Hell yeah.
I want that dog.
Right.
I want that dog right now.
Same.
Sack and Sugar, like a black rabbit. News, like a polecat. And Elamanzer, Pyewacket, Peck in the Crown, Grizzle, Greedigut were all described as imps. So Hopkins claimed he and 9 other witnesses saw the 5 of these, which appeared in the forms described by the witch. Only the first of these was in the form of the cat, the next 2 were dogs, and the others were a black rabbit and a polecat. So Pyewacket was, presumably, not a cat's name. As for the other familiars, Hopkins said that they were such... says only that they were such that no mortal could invent. This incident is described in Hopkins' pamphlet, The Discovery of Witches. So, really, I don't know. I have no idea what Pyewacket is, except for what you just said, is that it's a familiar spirit of a witch.
Yeah, but it probably was one that the director, the writer, was like, okay, like, let's find something real but kind of obscure.
Okay. Oh, but side note though, that there is if you Google Pyewacket on the Wikipedia, there's an external link to the book. So you can actually read The Discovery of Witches by Matthew Hopkins.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm probably going to read that.
All right. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Learn more about Pyewacket.
Oh, and it's not that long either. It's like really fucking short.
Oh, well, that's cool. But
that's better for me because I suck at reading. So,
well, that'll be a good one.
So are we done with that?
I think so. I think we did the thing.
Awesome.
So, in recap, Pyewacket, my movie, and A Quiet Place are very good. So is Hereditary, all we're seeing, and the Manson family is fucking groovy as hell. So,
what did I totally meant to say something. Oh, I did want to do a regret not see. So there's been a bunch of movies that I've really been just trying to see as soon as I could. And there was one that came out recently called Upgrade, which is also a Blumhouse feature, but it was almost like a sci-fi action, gruesome John Wick meets the Terminator kind of thing. And I didn't see it. I missed it. I was 1 week too late, and I was like, fuck. So I really regret not seeing that. So I'm sad.
Yeah. I'm really sorry. My neighbors are yelling at each other outside, so
that's fine.
Okay. I'm just concerned as well, but I'm good.
You're concerned? Oh yeah. Well, let's get this over with so you can spy on them and make sure they don't murder each other.
Fucking really? I hope not.
Oh my god.
I mean, murders happen everywhere. But I hope not tonight.
Right. You don't want to be responsible for that shit.
Right.
So since this is Paige's first official episode, yay! Yeah. We'll do Quiet Place for the Patreon episode, and that will be released this coming Wednesday.
Where we will talk about it in depth, and there's some good things about it.
Much more in depth. Just forget that she gave it a rating already. Just ignore that part.
I mean, I liked it, so you know it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Or entertaining. It's not gonna be me shit talking it the whole time at all.
It's Paige approved. Oh no!
Paige approved.
So should we not? Because yours is now Pyewacket.
Nah, that's fine. We can still do A Quiet Place for Patreon.
Okay.
I still have things to say, so.
You have more spoiler things to say. Yeah, okay. So, if we are done, we can do exits now.
All right. I mean, sorry, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. No, not YouTube.
All the things. Oh my god,
you
I'll
go
just
ahead and do this. You go ahead and do this. Yeah.
Go ahead and contact us via our website at rainbowsandhorrormovies.com, and there you can find our Instagrams, our Twitters, our Patreon, which is patreon.com/RAHM podcast. If you want to send us an email that has to do with topics or crazy shit, you can send it to us there, and you can also send it to us on our Reddit group, because we have a Reddit subreddit now, and send your creepy shit there. So you can find, like I said, you can find us on social media at RAHM Podcast. I am on Twitter and Instagram at DKDub. Paige is at Floral Coffin. And so, like we said, we're not sure when Kayla will be back, but you can go and give her some love and support and stuff over at her Instagram at Interstellar Camper. And please don't forget to rate and review our episodes. Even if it's a bad review, we'll take it to... No, we won't take it to heart. No, I don't want to say that either.
Goodness. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I never thought I would sing Kelly Clarkson unironically.
Oh my god.
Never thought that.
So, in the words of Kelly Clarkson, please leave us your reviews. It makes us get found easier, and we want to be found easier so that we can keep making content because we love it so much.
But, if you want to be nice, that'd be cool too.
Please be nice, but we understand if you feel differently. You are in your own... Wow.
We're good.
I need to stop talking.
Yeah. Before you go off the deep end again. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay, thank you guys for listening.
Yes.
Bye.
You were just trying to get me off the air soon.